On 1010XL, live from Tailgaters Parking, presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting. Here's Hayes Carline.
We are ready to party here at Tailgaters as we get ready for Monday Night Football. Hayes Carline here with E.T., John O'Leary helping us, Dylan Denmark making it happen at 1010XL. You love to party. You're ready. I know you're ready. What are we feeling?
It's showtime. We got the bright lights tonight. All eyes on us on Monday Night Football. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. You know who I love? These are my favorite people. These are the people out here in their cars
waiting,
that are tailgating for the tailgate. They're out of their cars. They're having fun. They're getting ready, and it's
a couple of them already offered me a brewski.
They're great fans, and what a big night, what a big opportunity to show the world that watches the NFL what Jacksonville is all about as a fan base and as a team.
Hayes, you said it, man. This is a wonderful opportunity to show who we really are. Yeah, we're 3-1. Yes, we should be 4-0, and we would be the only undefeated team in the league. But that's neither here or there right now. Tonight, we got a big challenge as Kansas City comes into Duval.
Absolutely. The three-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, led by Andy Reid, quarterback Pat Mahomes. We're going to talk all sorts of ins and outs of the matchup. Frangie, the voice of the Jaguars, will join us in our next segment. We'll get Frank's final thoughts as we get closer to kickoff tonight. We're going to be joined, I'm really excited about this, ESPN Chiefs writer Nate Taylor. He's going to join us at 4 o'clock, so top of the hour, to give us Kansas City's side of this matchup. We're going to go into the locker room and hear from DeJuan Smoot and Brenton Strange. So lots to get to coming up. But, E.T., you hit it. These guys they're the reigning AFC champion. They got to the Super Bowl last year under this group. They've won 3 of them. But they're 2-2. They've shown some vulnerability. Now, Kansas City has won their last 2. They look like they're finding a groove. As you mentioned, the Jaguars are a bad call that the NFL acknowledges in Cincinnati from being 4-0. So 3-1 versus 2-2, an incredible opportunity, not just to beat a franchise that really is in the middle of a dynasty, but also from all the playoff implications, seeding. You win tonight, you're 2 games up on the Chiefs. You're really 2.5 games up on them because you got the tiebreaker.
Man, just like you said, Hayes, man, they're the big daddies, the Chiefs. They have that winning DNA. They're used to it. And so I'm sure they're expected to come in here and keep that thing rolling. So it's up to us to put a stop on all that.
Let's look at the head coaching matchup to start with, because fascinating. And it was when this team went to San Francisco. It was Liam Cohen going against one of the top 5 head coaches in this sport, Kyle Shanahan, who's been to multiple Super Bowls. Liam Cohen got the better of Shanahan in that matchup. Now it's even more of a step up in weight class. Andy Reid is certainly the best doing it right now, arguably the best of his generation. He's got 320 wins when you look at regular season and the playoffs, going up against Liam Cohen, who I've been super impressed by. So even though it's sort of a first-year guy, young lion versus old lion, I think Liam Cohen and his staff, they've got the acumen. I think they can hang with the Chiefs.
Man, I love Liam and what he's doing. And each week, it's progressively gotten a little more difficult on the other sideline. So week 1, we opened up with the Panthers. Week 2, we had Taylor in Cincinnati. Week 3, who was it week 3?
The Texans.
We had the Texans with D'Amico, and then last week we had Shanahan, who's considered top tier. But tonight, like I said, we got Big Daddy, and so if Liam want to be one of them, we got to take down Big Daddy.
Yeah, and we look at it as a matchup of 2 really I'd say excellent quarterbacks, but that's sort of the storyline here. We know what Mahomes is.
Yeah.
He may go down as the best to ever do it. He doesn't have to play another down of football to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence trying to find himself. I think he's done a really good job with the operation of the offense, and this is things that we'll get to in this segment and throughout the show. But Trevor needs to play better tonight. Massive opportunity for Trevor Lawrence going against Patrick Mahomes on the other side.
And the good thing about that is Trevor knows that he needs to play better, and of course he wants to play better. Now it's all about executing.
Absolutely. Let's look at what Patrick Mahomes does well. Liam Cohen met with reporters on Thursday. Again, a little different week with it being a Monday Night Football contest. But Liam Cohen asked about what makes Mahomes so special earlier this week.
The operation he owns, right? He owns the whole thing. He can see it pre-snap, make adjustments, tell the guys to run different routes if he doesn't like the look that he's seeing. But then obviously, and then the accuracy within the timing and rhythm of a play, he's very accurate. And then when he does probably do what he does best is getting on the move and being a passer, remaining a passer first, being able to obviously make throws this way, that way, this way, over his head. He's very impressive, and it's a great challenge for our guys this week.
It was so hilarious when Liam was walking us through that, because you can't see it obviously, but he's doing like hook shots and under the legs passes, and that's what Mahomes does. And you have to figure he's probably going to hit something like that. You got to stay engaged though. Can't get down if he's able to do that.
And like the reason Mahomes is able to do that, because he's just comfortable. Like when you reach a certain level of comfort, you're going to do this way, you're going to do this way, you're going to doop-de-doop behind the back. But he's comforted. I can't wait for our boy to find that comfort level.
Without a doubt. And again, I think Trevor Lawrence has done a nice job with handling everything from an operations standpoint. It's almost like once that part he's got, once that part of the play is over, he's gotten the play, he's spit it out in the huddle, he's hit the line, he's diagnosed he's changed the play if need be. It's then once the ball is snapped and he's got to make the throw, that that's where the weakness is showing up. And again, that could just be he's 4 games in with the new administration, and that's going to take time. But Trevor needs to play better. You look at a guy right now that's, what is he, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, passer rating of 75.2. A lot goes into that. There have been drops. We know that. Mm-hmm. But Trevor himself, I think, realizes that he needs to play better. It's his birthday. Happy 26th birthday to Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. But this is a big opportunity for him. Trevor had a chance earlier this week to meet with reporters, and he talked about he knows the passing game needs to be better.
Definitely a little frustrated. I mean, obviously that's something that you want to do well. You want to feel like you come out of the game, and as the quarterback, that's a huge part of my job, obviously. I mean, it's running the whole offense and getting us in the right play and all that stuff, and but it's throwing and catching too. And I take responsibility for the throws I might miss or the ones where we're not on the same page, me and wideouts or tight ends or whoever it is. And I just think there's a lot of meat on the bone that we're leaving out there. So it's something that we've been working on in practice, and I think we're going to definitely see some improvements in that. I know we are. So, but yeah, it's definitely frustrating time. I think the whole room feels like that because we know what we're capable of and haven't quite done it yet. But at the same time, we've been winning games and we've been finding ways to win. But eventually, we're going to have to be able to push the ball down the field and make the big explosive plays in the passing game, and that's going to happen, but we got to do it.
And hopefully it does happen, and hopefully it starts tonight. Another element of this is it's not just Andy Reid who's been so great in Kansas City. His defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, is one of the best to do it of his generation. He's won 3 Super Bowls with the Chiefs as defensive coordinator. He's won under Tom Coughlin with the Giants. It's between him and Vic Fangio. I mean, pick your guy, but there's a huge gap between those two to number 3 when you look at best defensive coordinators over the course of the last 20 years in this league. So Spagnuolo presents a lot of challenges. I thought this was interesting. So Liam Cohen did go against Kansas City last year when he was the offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay. It was a great game. Kansas City won 30-24 in overtime. But, E.T., this is what stood out to me. The Bucs only ran 52 plays in that game. They weren't bad. They had 284 yards. Like we said, they scored 24 points. But Kansas City had 83 plays. The Bucs only had 52. But I do like the fact that Liam Cohen has at least been able to see what Spagnuolo presents on numerous occasions. And Liam Cohen talked about that challenge earlier this week.
Anywhere and everywhere. He definitely puts a lot of pressure on you as an offense, as a play caller, your quarterback to be able to see it pre-snap. What's the picture going to be post-snap? 0 checks, right? You got to be 0 ready at all times, and it could be back to back to back. And he zeroed me like 3 times in a row last year at one point. A lot of respect for the position that he puts his players in, the attacking mindset that they play with. It's a great opportunity for us this week.
Without a doubt. And Kansas City has owned the recent series. They've won the last 8 straight against the Jaguars. That dates back to 2009. So as you would expect, Patrick Mahomes, 91-25 as a starter, probably hasn't had a lot of trouble against the Jaguars, and he is not. A big injury element tonight that we'll get to when we get to the injury report, but get you to touch on it briefly here, E.T. Trayvon Walker, what are your expectations for whether he'll be able to go tonight with the wrist injury just a week removed from surgery?
Man, I really wish he could be out there, but that injury is it's a tough one, man. It's like right now I'm dealing with a toe injury. You have no idea how much you need your toe until it's hurt. And what Trayvon's doing in them trenches, I can only imagine, man. I wish we could have him out there because although it may not be showing up in the box scores, Trayvon is dogging out there.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. And we'll see. He tried to give it a run in Saturday's practice, playing with the club. So we'll see. We'll find out, I guess, around 6:45 tonight if Trayvon Walker will be active or inactive for the Chiefs game. One defensive player that we know that will be active is Devin Lloyd. He won AFC Defensive Player of the Month honors, a huge, huge honor for Devin Lloyd. Leads the NFL with 3 interceptions. He also has a fumble recovery. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile talked about what's made Devin Lloyd such a productive player so far for the Jaguars.
To me, he's just he's a true 3-down linebacker. There's just not that many 3-down linebackers in football. And some guys are 3-down linebackers in a certain way, and some are 3-down linebackers in another way, meaning that some guys may be out there and, hey, they do a bunch of stuff in the coverage. You know, they're kind of a lighter guy and they're off the ball all the time. But, you know, he's a guy, I've said this about him in the past, is that he has a very unique skill set in that he could play on the edge, you know, early down. If you lined him up, you know, outside as an open 5 technique on a tackle or a 9 technique on a tight end, he can do a really good job there, setting the edge, zone drop and all that stuff. He can play off the ball early down because he sees it pretty good. He can run and hit. He does a good job in the pass coverage. And then if you want to use him as a pass rusher, he has the ability to do that. So I don't think there's that many guys that have that unique skill set where they're a 3-down guy.
It really has been impressive. What have been your thoughts about what Devin Lloyd's been able to do so far?
My thoughts is we should have picked up that 5th-year option.
It looks like it.
We should have picked up that 5th-year option.
Yeah, he's definitely earning a big payday down the road, no doubt about it. You know, we've gotten to this far into the show. We haven't even gotten to this. Oh, by the way, it's Travis Hunter's Monday Night Football debut tonight, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner who the Jaguars aggressively went up to get in the draft with the 2nd pick. I've been really impressed with him. I know there's a kind of a storyline around the nation that maybe there's a sense of disappointment. To me, he has been so close and really through nothing that he has control over, whether it's been an underthrown pass, whether it's been a bad call. I thought the 3rd down conversion catch that he made in San Francisco in the last game was a thing of beauty. But how excited are you to see Travis Hunter tonight, and how close do you feel like he is to really making a huge splash and where the nation really starts to see this kid really does have a special talent?
This kid isn't afraid of the big stage, and tonight he's given that stage, man. Like you said, the interception, which is unfortunate, he would have had a touchdown. He probably would have had 2. The phantom pass interference call. So he's a couple plays away from being like the talk of the NFL.
Absolutely. A couple other cool things we want to get to. The Grand Staircase #1 is operational. They did the ribbon cutting on Friday morning. That was very cool. So if you're coming down, check it out. And it is fully operational, so feel free to use it. And we've got the Prowlers tonight.
Ooh,
we've got a teal out. It's going to be quite an environment. We're excited to be here at Tailgaters as we get you fired up for kickoff for Chiefs at Jaguars. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, the voice of the Jaguars, Frangie, will join us. You were listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coil Fencing. Coil has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coil has been installing fences since before Emery Bellard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coil Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. Coil Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump into Shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, Jags fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. Clogged drains happen when grease, soap, hair, and debris build up over time. Even tree roots can invade your pipes. All this leads to the annoying water pooling in your sink or tub. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline has the tools and know-how to clear stubborn clogs and keep them from coming back. Don't ignore a slow drain. It could lead to bigger problems. Make the superior choice when your drains are clogged and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Friends, we have a very special guest on the line.
The Checkmate Coatings phone line is where the action happens.
Where's the phone? Over there.
Get expert interviews and listener opinions all day, every day, from the drill all the way to Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Andersen. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like a millionaire margarita, spicy guavarita, old-fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can lead you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. We are pleased to be joined by the voice of the Jaguars and the host of the Frangie Show, Frangie, always kind enough to give us some final insights on the Kickoff Show. We dropped. Oh. Well, we'll wait to hear from Frank then.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of technology. But I'm sure he's excited.
I can't wait to hear from Frank because, I got a bone to pick with him. Oh, it's going to be a good
bone to pick with Frank.
Yeah, but
here we go.
He going to take care of me, though. I know he will.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dylan, just let us know when we get Frank back. But, what a great environment so far. You're seeing fans roll in. Yeah. And, boy, what a electric environment we're in store for tonight. Can't wait. Frank, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Are you getting fired up? Frank? Well, okay. Well, there you go. We're as we look at this game, and hopefully we'll get Frank on in a second. But as we look at this game, what's something that you think has to happen early in the game for the Jaguars to get off to a good start?
Get the team, get Kansas City off the field on third down. Do not let Patrick Mahomes wiggle his way out of a 3rd and 4 by scrambling for 12. We got to get Kansas City off the field on third down.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because third down has been, for all the good things that the Jaguars are doing, third down has not been a particular strength for the Jaguars so far. They're 35.2% offensively. That ranks 26th in the NFL. And they're giving up 45.6% on third down. So that's 29th in the league. Now, again, when you lead in takeaways and you've got 13 takeaways, which is 3 more than everybody else, then obviously that's going to cover a lot of that's going to give you a lot of mulligans. But the third down, I think, is critical tonight. I think it's a big key. I'm glad you said it because the Jaguars right now -10 when you look at that third down percentage, and it's something that the Chiefs, as you would expect, do very well. They're they're 15th offensively, so it's sort of middle of the road on third down, but much better than what the Jaguars have been doing. The Chiefs are at 39.3%, but defensively, that's where you see that Spagnuolo influence come in. 9th on third down at 34%. So the Chiefs +5, the Jaguars -10 when you look at the percentages on third down. And again, that has got to be more in line. As good as the defense played in San Francisco, they did allow like 62% third down conversion rate. So that's got to be better. I do think it helps that this will be a loud environment, and you hope that on third down, with these fans getting after it, Mahomes and company will have at least some trouble at the line communicating.
And speaking of third downs, we need to convert more. Like we need to convert our third downs to keep those drives going. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, again, I think in looking at it, the injury situation plays a big role in this. We talked about Trayvon, but the Jaguars have had a lot of guys on the board. In fact, Dylan, when you've got it ready, let's fire up that Farah and Farah injury report and go ahead and get a look at that since we're waiting on a connection with Frangie.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, it starts with Trayvon Walker with the wrist. Yeah, dislocated against the 49ers. Again, that game was just 8 days ago. He didn't practice at all until Saturday. And then he practiced with a club. They said it was a limited practice. The Jaguars are listing him as questionable. Ian Rappaport this morning on NFL Network suggested it was a long shot that Trayvon Walker would be able to give it a go tonight. But if there's anybody in that locker room that has the toughness to play through a dislocated wrist that was just surgically repaired within a week, it's Trayvon Walker.
And it's funny about this wrist injury. I forget who said it, but Trayvon says anytime he's been injured, it's always been in his hands. And now he's dealing with this wrist injury. Well, he knows how to deal with it. So hopefully he can pull it, just get through it.
It's going to be quite a challenge. I mean, I love the matchup because I don't think the Chiefs' offensive tackles are particularly strong.
Jawan Taylor.
You got Jawan Taylor on one side, coming back. So we know he likes to get off to a little bit of a head start. He likes to line up basically as a running back. So I'm sure Liam Cohen will remind the refs of that tonight in their pregame kind of chit-chat. But on the other side, the Chiefs have a rookie in Josh Simmons who's incredibly talented. He was a late first-round pick only because he was coming off a massive knee injury. But still, I mean, a rookie, this kind of environment, you'd like to think that is a spot where the Jaguars can take advantage. Even if, let's say, Walker isn't available tonight, what is your confidence level in Josh Hines-Allen and guys like DeJuan Smoot, Emmanuel Ogbah, that can try and get pressure off the edge against Mahomes?
What's fortunate for us is all of those guys are veterans. Josh Hines-Allen said it best. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and there's no bigger game than tonight.
And it would be great to see him set the franchise sack record with 2 tonight.
On Monday Night Football, on Patrick Mahomes.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
I mean, what a chance.
I might just go sleep at the studio tonight if that happens.
Absolutely. Another injury that I think is really vital for the Jaguars, this is in a very positive way, receiver De'Ami Brown, who they did not have against San Francisco because of the shoulder injury. He is all clear. He was able to practice all week in limited fashion, but does not carry an injury designation today. And I think he's somebody that could add a little spice to this game plan for Liam Cohen.
I think De'Ami and Brenton Stranger there are those unsung heroes, those quiet dogs that could add a little spice, a little shimmy to this offense.
Absolutely. We're going to hear from Brenton Strange later in the show. That'll be in our final segment. So I agree with you. He's been catching the ball. He leads the team in receptions. So
that man don't drop balls.
No. He's been fantastic, and we know about his prowess as a blocker as well. So really rounding into a great all-around tight end. Another thing is we look at this injury report that's very pleasing from a Jaguars perspective. There were some offensive line injuries. I thought they did a good job, the guys that had to step in. We saw Van Lanen, Adoga have to step in, in the win over the 49ers. But the starting offensive line, they're fine. None of them carry an injury designation. So Anton Harrison, Ezra Cleveland, Patrick McCary, they were all able to practice in limited fashion this week, and they will be active tonight. We're seeing it around the NFL. Look at the Chargers. I don't know if you saw, the Chargers can't block anybody now because they've lost Slater and Alt, and Herbert is getting killed, and they got beat at home by Washington. They've now lost 2 in a row. Having that health in your offensive line is so critical to success. Fantastic that the Jaguars should have, it looks like, no injury designation, so the starting offensive line all ready to go tonight.
The way I look at it is like, think of a building. You have a nice building, but the O-line is the infrastructure of that building. And you got a good infrastructure that's going to keep your building up. So that's how I look at the O-line.
That's a great analogy, absolutely. Rookie offensive lineman Wyatt Milam is listed as questionable. It almost feels like with Milam, he's been able to practice in limited fashion. Now, we've been talking about him really since week 1, that, it's been a limited practice. It's almost like, I'll be interested to see if he's active tonight, because that almost seems like they're sort of waiting for it to kind of need him. But nonetheless, Wyatt Milam listed as questionable. We'll see if he makes his Jaguars debut. One player that we know will not be going is reserve linebacker Yasir Abdullah. He is out with a hamstring injury, so no Abdullah tonight. But overall, I think you have to be pretty encouraged with the health of the team, and particularly, can you imagine the ovation if Trayvon Walker is active tonight when 44 runs out onto the field?
Hayes, you're giving me goosebumps. I didn't even think about that. Like, the way that this crowd will blow up when Trayvon if he's able to play.
It'll be amazing. The other thing I wanted to get to, and we'll do this on the other side, it was a busy day day in the AFC South yesterday. You know, we had the Jaguars need to win tonight or they're going to lose a game on everybody.
Yeah.
The Titans stunned everybody and 16-0 in the fourth quarter to beat Arizona. The Colts and Texans rolled over the Raiders and Ravens respectively. So the AFC South has had a really good week. And we'll see if the Jaguars can push it to 4-0. We're going to break those games down. When we come back, we'll also hear from DeJuan Smoot, want to take you guys inside the locker room. We will do that coming up on the Terminix Kickoff Show. You're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. You've heard me talk about the Rolex my grandfather gave me for graduating from college, but there's something else you need to know about Rolex watches from an official Rolex jeweler for over 60 years. If you own a Rolex, probably today more than ever before, if you need that Rolex serviced, you should only visit an official Rolex jeweler. In North Florida, there are 4, with Underwood's 3 stores, and Mayors has 1. Anybody else claiming to work on Rolex has no direct access to parts, and the use of non-authentic Rolex parts jeopardizes your Rolex from both an authenticity and a value standpoint. At Underwoods, we have state-of-the-art Rolex repair shops, both designed and outfitted by Rolex and staffed by Rolex watch technicians trained by Rolex. And best of all, our shop is on premise, so your Rolex will never leave Jacksonville, and our Rolex repairs carry a 2-year warranty. At Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators! It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a Dandy today.
Start your week off with today's restaurant of the day, Flame Broiler. Try their new chicken avocado salad bowl at $10.99. Fuel your day with Flame Broiler's protein-packed bowls served at 5 locations, including the newest at 103rd Street.
At JEA, we're committed to keeping our community storm ready all year long. We continue to invest in our electric, water, and wastewater systems to make them more storm resistant. Our crews trim trees to help keep power lines clear from falling debris. Plus, our outage map and My JEA app make it easier than ever to report and track outages. Whatever storm season brings, we're ready to respond, restore, and keep you informed every step of the way. Learn more about our efforts and how you can prepare at jea.com/storm.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline with E.T., John O'Leary, Dylan Denmark. We're at Tailgaters, getting you fired up for Chiefs, Jaguars tonight. We're pleased to be joined voice of the Jaguars and host of the Frangie Show, Frangie, kind enough to spend some time with us. Frank, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Hello to you and E.T. Hayes on a big night and a fun night, an exciting night in Jacksonville. Can't wait to get going.
What does this night mean to you as a guy from here?
Yeah, I think we've had a handful of them. We haven't had one in a while. It's been a long time since we had a Monday night game. Monday nights are different. You can have a Thursday night. You can even have a Sunday night, which I know are the big ones now. But Monday night's different. I mean, Buck and Aikman are here, and the whole ESPN team's here, and everybody's watching it. And oh, by the way, they're playing the best franchise in football the last 4 or 5 years. So it's a big night, Hayes. I hope everyone's coming. I hope everybody's wearing their teal. I've been excited about this thing all day. I was excited about it before I went to bed last night. I'm like a little kid, and I think people feel that way. So it's a special night for us and a real opportunity for this football team. And here's the other thing. Let's be honest. There's been so many times in our lifetimes in these 31 years where the Jags will play a game that we're excited about, but you feel like, it's probably not going to go very well. You don't want to say that. You don't want to feel that way, but you do. Well, not this team. This team, every time they line up, you think they got a pretty good chance to win the game. So I can't wait to get started.
Frankie, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room here. So we are 4 games in, and I have yet to hear how good is that? Am I tripping? Did I miss it? Or did you I haven't heard one yet.
Oh, there have been a few of them. You got to listen closer, E.T. That's
I listen. But because there was a call that you did last year. It was so energetic. It was, how good is that? I haven't heard it, so I hope the whole world get to hear it tonight.
You know, E.T., they say the burden of communication is on the communicator. Well, maybe it's on the communicatee in this one. Not said a few times.
You might be right, Frank. You might be right.
But, I tell you what, I hope we get a bunch of them tonight. Let's hope. I hope it's that kind of night, E.T. And I think it might. I got a good feeling the Jags are going to play all out. So are the Chiefs. And you never know how a game's going to go. But I think there's going to be an energy on this stadium that elicits a bunch of those, E.T. I really do.
And on more of a serious note, what do you think that they're saying in Kansas City about this Jacksonville Jaguar team? Because normally in the past, this is a stat game. Let me get my stats up. But what do you think that they're saying in Kansas City now?
Well, that's a great point. I think I said this on the air. Hayes and I've had this talk, E.T. I think Jacksonville has everyone's attention. The season begins. You beat the Panthers. That's kind of expected, right? Then you lose to the Bengals, even to a backup quarterback, and some people around the league are going to say, same old Jags. Okay. Yep. So you got to come back and prove you're not same old Jags. We beat the Texans. That proves you're not same old Jags. Then 1 week later, you got to beat the 49ers and get relevant. Well, they've done that. This is a 3-1 football team. It's hard to be 3-1 in the NFL. I think people understand this is a pretty good football team, and I think that's not lost on Kansas City either. So I think Kansas City gets it. I think the league gets it, and I think the Jags have a chance to show it tonight.
Frank, the Jaguars enter the contest fourth in the NFL in rushing. Do you expect that they'll be able to continue their hot start on the ground against the Chiefs?
I think they have to, Hayes. I think that's how this team has to play. I think that's who they are. Yes, I think they're going to run the ball because I think that's what they do. You'll be better against some teams and not against other teams. But that's what they do. I think the Chiefs are a better defense against the pass than the rush. They're ranked 22nd in the league against the rush. They're ranked 8th in the league against the pass. They've got two very good corners and an outstanding defensive lineman pass rusher in Chris Jones. Now, Derek Nottie, the former Knowles, played pretty well for them up front. But I think you can run at them. Again, they're 22nd in the league against the run. Now, look, it's early in the year. It's hard to make too much of stats early on, but that's all you have to go on. And it's who the Jags are. I think every week, Hayes, we look at the game that's coming up. If the Jags don't run the football, they're going to have a tough time. Whoever you are, however you're built, you have to do that, right? And I got a pretty good idea. We heard Liam Cohen wanted to run the football before we ever got here. Before we ever got to the sidelines in one of these games, we knew he was the guy that wanted to run the football. For that reason, they went out and got two really good run-blocking offensive linemen in Robert Hainsey and Patrick McCary to go with what they already had. Ezra Cleveland has become a better run blocker. I think they've built this team to do that, Hayes. So I'd be surprised if that's not in the game plan. And, yeah, I think they're going to have some rushing success against everybody they play.
If the Jacksonville Jaguars do this, they will secure a victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. Frank, what is this?
Yeah, great question, E.T. Number one, run the ball. The thing Hayes just asked. I think they've got to run the ball. That means you hold the ball. When you run the ball, your drives are longer, E.T. The Jags have already had some of those 12-minute drives, those 13-minute drives. And I think when you run the ball, you're more likely to have those. You also keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. So I think that's one. The other one's the obvious one. He can't get comfortable. I know Mahomes is the magician, and he makes sidearm throws and no-look passes and makes a lot of plays off schedule. But I'd still rather him do that and be doing that than sit there in a clean pocket. So keep Mahomes from having a clean pocket. If he's going to make those magical off-balance sidearm no-look passes, I'd rather he has to do that than sit there in that pocket. So run the ball, which means hold the ball, and somehow get pressure on number 15. I think that's a gigantic part of the game today.
Frank, what's your gut feeling on whether the Jaguars will have Trayvon Walker active tonight?
Boy, I don't have a gut. I saw the Rappaport report. I heard you talk about it earlier, Hayes. I saw the report that he's unlikely to play. I know Trayvon. I know if he doesn't play, then there's no way he could play. I'll tell you that. This Trayvon answers the bell. He answers the bell every practice. He answers the bell every game. He answers the practice every OTA. Or answers the bell every OTA and every workout. If there's any way he can play, it's hard for me to have a gut. I will tell you this. Before that Rappaport report today, my gut would have been that he's playing. Okay, if you'd asked me that in the morning or whenever, my gut would have been that he's going to play. Because Ian has good contacts, as we all know, somebody must have told him that it's bothering Trayvon or whatnot. I don't know. So it's hard for me to have much of a – I kind of ducked your question there. Sorry about that, dude. But it's hard for me to have much of a gut. I do think this. If there's any way to play Trayvon will, but obviously a very connected reporter, Ian Rappaport, is reporting that it's a long shot, so we'll have to see.
Monday Night Football is a huge platform, but nothing new for our rookie, Travis Hunter. What do you expect out of him tonight?
I think the day's coming, the night's coming, the time's coming when we're going to look up, E.T., and Travis Hunter has 14 targets and 10 catches. Is it tonight? Is it next week against Seattle? Is it when they get to London? I'm not sure when, but that's happening. I do think he's going to evolve into more of an offensive player than a defensive one, at least in the early going. He's going to start on both sides of the ball. That's why they drafted him. They were serious about that. He's serious about it. But I think we're going to see more of him evolving as an offensive guy. It'll be interesting to see. Brian Thomas Jr. played a little better. You know he's a good player. De'Ami Brown is a guy that's going to try and work his way back after missing a game. It'll be interesting to see how they play that. In my opinion, E.T., I've said this since the day they drafted him, by the way, I think he's a natural corner. I think he probably is a more natural corner than anything else, but I think you affect the game more at wide receiver. In this day and age, in today's football, I think offensive players affect the game more than defensive players do. A good game for a defensive player is one pass breakup and maybe an interception. That's a great game, right? for an offensive player, a good game is 10, 12 catches and really affect the game. We saw Stephon Diggs lead a big upset yesterday or last night because he affected the game, man. Stephon affected the game. He might have won the game for the Patriots, right? I think you affect the game that way. So that's my guess, that it'll be more offense. And tonight might be the night you see it. Would not be surprised if you look up tomorrow and he's had 7 or 8 catches. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Frank, if Trayvon is inactive, what's your confidence level that the Jaguars will be able to get after Mahomes?
Well, it's going to be harder. He's a good player, and he's a physical player, and the Chiefs have a pretty physical team, so it's going to be harder. Dewan Smoot has been a great pickup. He has been by far the best backup end. He will start the game if they don't have Trayvon. I don't think he's a guy, Hayes, that wants to play 40, 45 snaps. That's just not who he is at this point in his career. So they're going to have to alternate guys. I wouldn't be surprised if you see B.J. Green, the undrafted rookie, in there some. You're going to have to get creative with what they do. Ogba will play some. They're going to have Anthony Campanile is going to have to get aggressive. Now, look, we've seen him we didn't know what to think from Anthony Campanile. Well, we've seen a guy that blitzes a lot. We've seen a guy that isn't afraid to get after the quarterback, a guy that mixes coverage. They play a lot of zone. Everybody's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they come from different spots. My guess would be if you don't have one of your best pass rushers and one of your best defensive ends, you got to be really creative. I would think all kind of funky blitzes. Now, look, nobody's better at those at diagnosing those than Patrick Mahomes. But, yeah, it's going to be harder. Let's be honest here. There's a reason he was the first overall pick in the draft, and he's really coming on back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. Yes, it's going to be much harder if you don't have Trayvon Walker. There's no denying that.
A few more minutes here with Frank Frangie, voice of the Jaguars and host of the Frangie Show. Frank, in terms of looking at Brian Thomas Jr., it seemed like he kind of started to find a groove and a rhythm in the victory in San Francisco. What are your expectations for BTJ now with a huge spotlight tonight?
Yeah, I think this, Hayes. I think it was real important to have a game or two where whether or not he would drop a pass wasn't the story. You know what I mean? And I think he's had that. He had to have a game or two whether or not he catches the ball wasn't a story, where he's just another very good player. And I think we're getting there. I think we're closer. So I think Brian Thomas Jr. is getting closer to being what he was. That doesn't mean he's going to go catch 10, 12 balls every night. But I think I kind of think, and I may be wrong about this, but I kind of sense what's wrong with BTJ story is about over. You know what I mean? I think we're there. I think we're now. He may have. You know how that is. Some guys get targeted, some guys don't. They've got very good cornerbacks. Trent McDuffie's a really good player. I mean, they are very good at cornerback. Jalen Watson's a pretty good player. Trent McDuffie's very good. I would not be surprised to see McDuffie travel with Brian Thomas Jr. all night tonight. And if that happens, then it's easier to take him out of the game. So we'll have to see how Kansas City plays it. Spags is very good at figuring that out. He may be the best defensive coordinator in football. As you and I have had that talk, he's really good. So we'll see what happens there. But I think the whole what's wrong with Brian Thomas Jr., I think that story has started to fade, which is the most important thing that could happen for Brian.
Do you think the Jaguars will still be able to force multiple takeaways like they've been doing in every game this season against Mahomes and the Chiefs?
It's hard to keep predicting that, isn't it? I mean, the Chiefs have only turned it over once all year long, and that was a ball that Travis Kelce should have caught, right? So, I mean, they have one turnover the whole year, you know? Yeah. And if Travis Kelce catches the ball on the goal line, they have none. So I wouldn't expect a great deal of takeaways. Not that the Jags aren't still good at it, but Kansas City's pretty good at not doing it. But Kansas City's going to turn it over some. We're not going to get to game 17 and they've only had one turnover, right? They're going to turn it over some. I think the Jags are very good at punching the ball out. I wouldn't be surprised to see a takeaway tonight. I would be surprised to see 3. How about that? Is that a good duck your question answer again?
I think it. No, I agree because I think Mahomes isn't going to throw more than like one pick at the most. So to me, if you're going to get 3, it's can you force a fumble in the special teams game? Can you get a punch out on Pacheco or a receiver worthy after he's caught the ball? I think that's their path to it, but I'd be shocked if Mahomes shows up and sack fumble. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. It just doesn't seem like, other than maybe forcing fumbles, it'd be surprising to see Mahomes be careless with the ball.
Here's what I do think, Hayes. You might not need the takeaways to win this game. You're not going to have a whole season where you don't win unless you get takeaways, right? Or unless you win the turnover margin by a wide margin. But I think you have to do the special stuff right. I think you have to not lose the turnover battle. I think you have to win special teams. The Jags have very good special teams. I'll be interested to see. Harrison Butker's already missed 3 times this year. He's not been really himself. Matt Ariza's the new punter. They don't have Townsend anymore. So I think it's important to kind of win that battle. I think you got to win the field position battle. I sound like a coach. I know it sounds like coach speak, but I believe that. I think this isn't a game that you can start every drive from your minus 11 and win this game. You've got to kind of win that thing. It's that kind of a game. The Chiefs are very good at that stuff. We all know about Mahomes and over the years Kelsey and Tyreek Hill before he was gone and Chris Jones. We know about the stars, right? But they're good at the little stuff. Andy Reid's as good a coach as there is in football, and they don't beat themselves. So you got to kind of win the game between the game a little bit, or the game within the game a little bit, Hayes. And if you do that, I think the Jags will be in good shape. But keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on starting field position. Keep an eye on – I think that's a gigantic factor in the game tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, Frank, what kind of game do you think we will see tonight?
I think a close game. I don't think there's going to be as many points as you might imagine. I think as great as Mahomes is, as wonderful as that offensive line and the running game have been for the Jaguars, I see a game in the teens, maybe the low 20s. I wouldn't be surprised. What did we see last night? 23-20? I wouldn't be surprised if it's that kind of game. I think it's a game that comes down to the wire, and I think the team. I think it's that whole. It's 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 13 seconds left. You're not going to know who's going to win the game. I think it's that game, Hayes. I'd be disappointed or surprised if it wasn't that game. Nobody blows out the Chiefs. We know that. The Jaguars, I don't think anyone's blowing out the Jaguars this year. I sense more defense than offense tonight. We could have some weather, although the weather's supposed to fade by kickoff, I think. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think it's a heck of a game decided middle of the fourth quarter on. I really believe that. I think the fans who are all coming, all wearing that teal. I saw your teal, by the way, Hayes. I saw it. You're not afraid.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not. You think the mayor said wear teal? I'm wearing teal.
I saw. You know what? You're a guy. You're a rule follower, and I love that you are.
Right.
And ET will be too. And look, I think it's going to be a night for the fans. I think it's going to be a special night in Jacksonville. I mean that very sincerely, and I can't wait to get started.
Absolutely. Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining us. We apologize for the technical issues earlier, but glad we were able to get you on and get your final thoughts, and certainly have a wonderful call tonight. ET is expecting a ton of how good is that.
How good is that?
I'm coming right out of the gate. Just for ET, I'm coming right out of the gate.
Sounds good. Thanks, Frank.
Boys.
All right, we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show. We have an hour to go. When we come back, we're going to go behind enemy lines to be joined. ESPN Chiefs writer Nate Taylor is going to join us to give us the Chiefs side of things as we get ready for this matchup. We're also going to go inside the locker room in our final hour to talk with DeJuan Smoot and Brenton Strange. You're listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's more than a game.
No matter how talented you are, it still comes down to that brotherhood of playing for one another.
1010XL. It's why we play.
Carolina Jags in historic Riverside has been named Best Burger in Jacksonville for 5 years in a row. They serve fresh, certified Angus beef smash burgers on locally baked buns with Florida fresh produce. Try favorites like the Riverside or a bacon cheddar. They have weekday lunch specials from 11 to 2 and open Sundays for pregame or postgame. Carolina Jags is where it's at.
Hey, Jags fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn-out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Yo, you already know it's your main man ET, and no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails, served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL. Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now let's go behind enemy lines. Behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. We are pleased to be joined with ESPN Chiefs writer Nate Taylor. You can follow Nate at by Nate Taylor on social. Nate, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a lovely day to be in Jacksonville after thinking there was going to be an onslaught of rain.
Yes. Yeah, so far the weather looks good, and it's apparently going to get better as the night progresses. So should be a lot of fun. We're glad that you're here covering the Chiefs game. Nate, let's start with Kansas City. It seems like the Chiefs have been able to find something over these last 2 weeks. What's been sort of the mood in the Kansas City locker room?
Yeah, the mood is, I think, a collective. Like, you know, they can take a deep breath and realize, ooh, okay, this is what we're more used to, right? Winning consecutive games, you know, sort of improving over the first month of the season. You didn't go the way the Chiefs wanted to, and losing to the Chargers in Sao Paulo, and then obviously having a very tough back-to-back against the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Chiefs have done what they're supposed to do. They made this game interesting again because they beat the Giants, because they beat a beat-up Baltimore Ravens group. So this will be their toughest competition since their home opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think the Chiefs understand that, and so I think they're pretty excited for this potential sort of measuring stick for both teams. But at least the Chiefs feel like they're back to normally who they've been over the past several years after that very unusual, awkward 0-2 start.
Yeah, without a doubt. Xavier Worthy back in the lineup for Kansas City. How big of a difference has that made for Kansas City's offense?
Yeah, it is becoming quite clear, guys, that for Patrick Mahomes, much of the Chiefs' offense is surrounded by Xavier Worthy, who is their fastest player, who came back from his, dislocated right shoulder faster than the team anticipated and had a wonderful performance, in basically what is equating to his season debut against the Ravens. The Jags will not see Rashee Rice tonight because he's still serving his 6-game suspension. But the offense is basically built around those two guys with the little mix of Travis Kelce, of course, sort of being the mainstay. So at least for right now, the offense has gotten better throughout the course of the regular season. I know the Jags are known for being opportunistic and creating turnovers. But one of the best things for the Chiefs so far is that Mahomes has actually protected the football really, really well. His one interception is mostly on Travis Kelce in terms of a drop pass that led to an interception. So when you get another talented player back, all of a sudden it seems like Travis Kelce is back into what should have been his role to start the season, right? That third guy can be reliable. You can use, on occasion the red zone on third down. And then you have Tyquan Thornton as another speed element. Hollywood Brown played well in his role with, Xavier Worthy taking much of the attention from the defense. So this is an idealistic version of the Chiefs offense that the Jacksonville Jaguars are capable of seeing because of Rashee Rice's suspension.
Yeah, and Nate, you brought up a great point. The one Mahomes pick should have been a touchdown. It hits Kelce in the hands at the goal line against Philly, and he bobbles it. It gets intercepted. And Mahomes is always been in such control. Have you seen anything different out of him this year, or is it just, it's just brilliance year in and year out with Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, in terms of the brilliance part, so much of it is his ability to adapt to whoever's on the field, right? For whatever reason, Tyquan Thornton, I don't want to say changed his game style a ton, but it just didn't work out with Mac Jones in New England. All of a sudden, Tyquan Thornton's one of the best receivers the Chiefs have had this year, and this is his first time playing with Patrick Mahomes. So that just tells you the brilliance of a guy who's so good that he can adapt his game style to make you better on the field. And then secondly, and I wrote a little bit about this coming out of training camp, to the point about him technically having no interceptions when we all agree that, it's more so on Kelce. Mahomes' accuracy this year has been absolutely extraordinary, and that's one of the best and most fascinating parts of this game because what I saw from Jacksonville is, hey, if you take that dangerous, risky throw, hey, man, that thing might get deflected, it might get tipped. They will catch the ball. The Jaguars have been very clear about you put any ball in danger, we'll catch it. Well, Mahomes has been one of the best quarterbacks this year at actually protecting the football. Even if he makes a one-on-one opportunity for a receiver, it's usually in the place for the receiver to have the better chance to get it than the defensive back. His accuracy has been amazing this year, and because of now the speed element with Xavier Worthy, it created a lot more space in the zone coverage of the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm interested to see if he'll have more space to sort of throw and get guys accurately open against the Jaguars.
ESPN Chiefs writer Nate Taylor, kind enough to join us. Again, follow Nate at by Nate Taylor and his great work at ESPN.com. We certainly enjoy. Nate, let's talk about protecting Mahomes. Give us a rundown on the offensive tackle situation. Obviously, we're familiar with Jawan Taylor at right tackle, and Simmons looks like is an eventual star at left tackle, but obviously had to come off the knee injury his final year in college. What are you seeing out of those two offensive tackles for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think, Jawan Taylor is as professional of a right tackle as you could ask for. He does get picked on, which I know Jaguar fans realize because of the early starts, because of the illegal formations. But think about this, guys. Jawan Taylor had his best game of the season last week. No penalties, no issues. He actually got engaged after the game to his fiancée, Tiffany. So it's all sort of looking up for him in this sort of like coming home sort of scenario, because I think the one time I guess this will be his second time in Jacksonville. I think it was the first year in Kansas City that the team actually played, and he actually got benched because of all those illegal formation and false start penalties. So he's hoping for a better chance this time around. One of the bigger stories from the Chiefs this year is everybody knew what their biggest weakness was on their roster, which was how in the world do we protect the blind side of Patrick Mahomes? We need we need a proper left tackle. The Chiefs did not have one last year. For a variety of reasons, the Chiefs have sort of been windfalling into the best prospect available, who I think some teams were leery of when it came to Josh Sims, because could he be ready for the start of the season? Was he going to be as talented as he was in college before the non-contact knee injury? Well, guys, he's rehabbed really well. He did excellent in preseason. There was no competition. And you're right, he does look like a guy that one day will be a Pro Bowler if he stays on this consistent track, which has allowed Mahomes to operate more freely in the pocket. I think what you notice is, hey, Mahomes is less skittish in week one than compared to what we saw against the Ravens. Now, again, their defense was beat up. They do not have the two pair of edge rushers that the Jaguars have. So this will be, again, a really good test for Jawan Taylor, for Josh Simmons. Hines Allen will probably be the guy I'm most interested in from the trenches play, because who he decides to line up on will tell you quite a bit, whether it's Jawan Taylor, who's, again, the more veteran guy, but you can maybe beat him with speed. You give a variety of moves to Josh Simmons and just see if he's athletic enough and if he's gifted to adjust, because he is so young, because he is so inexperienced. So whichever one Hines Allen is by might tell you the story of where the Jacksonville Jaguars feel they can most pressure Mahomes. But as of right now, Mahomes is not really taking that many snacks, and that has allowed the offense to, steadily get better over the course of this month, to where they could score, over 30 points last week. That was the first time they had done that, fellas, in a long time. So the Chiefs have to feel good about the way their offensive line is played overall, but there's clearly room for improvement, and they're going to face a much tougher defensive test tonight than they did last week against the Ravens.
Nate, let's look at the Chiefs offense going against the Jaguars defense in terms of how do you think the Chiefs will be able to run the ball tonight against the Jaguars?
I don't know, guys. That's as honest of an assessment as I can make, because the Chiefs do not have a functional running game. Okay, their leading rusher is still Patrick Mahomes, and that is not on design runs. That is not a part of the scheme. That is just, again, kind of the brilliance, the ability to adapt for Mahomes that I talked about earlier. The Chiefs would love for Isaiah Pacheco to be the player he was in the 2022 season, in the 2023 seasons. If you remember, the Chiefs ended the Jaguar season in 2022, not because of Mahomes, but because it was actually, a little bit of Chad Henne, a little bit of Isaiah Pacheco, who actually got them down the field to get a lead that they held on to late in that game before, Trevor Lawrence could bring the Jaguars back. Now, that running game is not as dynamic. The Chiefs' leading rusher in Sunday's game against the Ravens was Xavier Worthy. So I don't know what to expect from Isaiah Pacheco, who is their starting running back. That's why a lot of people in Kansas City are interested to see what's going to go on with Brashard Smith, a young, talented rookie running back who is trying to learn Andy Reid's system as fast as possible, because he does have some dynamic ability. He has speed. He can break tackles, which is something Pacheco has struggled with since he came back from the right leg injury. So you know what you're going to get from Kareem Hunt, which is third down back, short yardage situation. Kareem Hunt's still very good in the red zone in terms of converting touches into touchdowns. But in the middle of the field, much of the burden is still on Mahomes and Kelsey and Xavier Worthy.
And then, Nate, we'll get you out with this. What kind of plan do you think Spagnuolo will have for shutting down the Jaguars' ground game that ranks fourth in the NFL and frustrating Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, this is awesome, guys. Travis Etienne has been incredible, and he is the best running back the Chiefs will have seen so far this season. That includes Derrick Henry in Baltimore. That includes Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia. The speed and the ability to win on the edges, especially on the perimeter, has been what's really fascinating me about Etienne, because he's going to test the collective speed of the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs are more of a team that can hold up in terms of the edges and then use their strength to overpower you and sort of gain tackle. I imagine Steve Spagnuolo will call a multitude of blitzes, some of which will work just because you're guessing and you're trying to be aggressive. But if Etienne can get through that first level or even that first sort of blitzing linebacker, that can spell trouble for the Chiefs defense, especially if you can catch a couple passes out of the backfield just to keep Spagnuolo honest in terms of who is doing what in terms of coverage. We know that Trevor Lawrence struggles with pressure. Steve Spagnuolo knows that. That's why it's important for the Jaguars to get a lead, I think, early in the game and try to sort of dictate the tempo of the game so that you can always have Etienne to sort of rely on. He's been really their workhorse over the course of the first 4 games of the season. And then Lawrence has done what has been necessary at times in terms of managing the game when he doesn't turn the ball over. Spagnuolo's going to try to flip that on his head, and so I imagine, much like what Lamar Jackson went through before his injury, you want to blitz Trevor Lawrence a bunch of times before halftime and just see if he can manage it, if he can overcome it, if he has the answers to the questions as to where Spagnuolo might be coming from. The Chiefs love to blitz. They love to be aggressive, and they love to do that when they have a lead. So very fascinating to see how does Trevor Lawrence manage the game so that Etienne can be at his best and see if he can break maybe 1 or 2 big chunk plays for the Jaguars running attack.
Great stuff. Well, Nate, we can't thank you enough for joining us. Fantastic insights. Hope you have a wonderful time in Jacksonville and hope you enjoy the game tonight. But thank you so much. Again, you can follow Nate at @ByNateTaylor on social. Nate, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome, guys, and thank you for having me. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what Duval has for me and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Absolutely. Well, have fun, Nate. We really appreciate it. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to get it to the keys to the game. Lots to get to, lots of in and outs. You're listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high quality, very affordable hurricane rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
When you want a fresh perspective, pull into Lauren's Lane. I'm Lauren Brooks, and I fuel up with the day's top sports takes. Powered by Mazda at the Avenues. Afternoons on Helmets and Heels, 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch? From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Stick around after the sunset, and Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Come on, somebody.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jax, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them the solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjax.com.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
You know you're watching too much porn when every letter on your keyboard was dangerous, you know?
Trevor Wallace, live, the Alpha Beta Mail Tour.
Like, every dude's biggest fear is that his girlfriend's phone dies. She's like, babe, can I borrow your phone? I just want to Google the nearest Panera Bread. You're like, anywhere but Panera, please. I don't. Just hit a space bar before you do anything. I'll cook.
Saturday, October 11th, Florida Theater. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com. Don't miss Trevor Wallace.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the keys to the game. Brought to you by Instant Keys, fast, professional, honest locksmith service.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. We are here at Tailgaters. I've got E.T., I've got John O'Leary, I've got Dylan Denmark. I am Hayes Carline. Keys to the game, E.T., we're going to start with this one. If it's there, Trevor's got to let it rip, man. I mean, there's been some opportunities, and he's been checking the ball down. If he gets a chance, he needs to take a shot. What do you think?
The great Lenny Kravitz once said, I want to get away. I want to fly. Trevor, let that thing fly.
Let it fly. This was Liam Cohen talking to reporters Saturday about when those chances are there, the franchise quarterback's got to take it.
There's that fine line of making sure that we're being obviously smart with the football, but taking advantage of some of the ops down the field that maybe we've missed right now, and that's just seeing some of the concepts and being a little bit more aggressive with some of the mentality, which I think he's done a nice job of taking the underneath, and we've converted a lot. Now it's like, okay, let's go take some of those opportunities. Let's let our guys go potentially make some plays down the field, especially because we're going to have to beat them. Like I said, there's no hitches. So there's very little that can exist outside the numbers within 5 yards. So it's got you got to get it in the holes back here, the middle, and a little bit further down the field. They do play a lot of too high, cover two. But they mix it with man, so you can get some runaways and try to push the ball a little bit more towards that 20, 25, 30-yard range. We're going to need to do that to be able to say, like, our guys can go by you. You have to be threatened by this and not just load up and say everything's going to be caught 20 yards within.
What are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence tonight?
25 of 30. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
All right, that'll work.
Hey.
That'll work.
Hey.
Yeah, you're not afraid.
I ain't never scared.
Yeah, how about that? Well, Trevor going up against Steve Spagnuolo will be a fascinating key to this game, in my opinion. How well is Trevor able to handle, diagnose what the Chiefs are throwing at him schematic-wise? Trevor talked about that challenge earlier this week.
He's a great D coordinator and play caller, and his defenses are always, I think it's just the feeling of like chaos of the defense, of like you never quite know what they're going to bring, because they've shown so many different things, but they're pretty I shouldn't say pretty sound, they're very sound defensively, as far as, especially for all the different pressures they bring. A lot of times when teams do that, you feel like there's kind of holes everywhere, but they do a good job of matching different route concepts and playing different coverages that give them some flexibility in what they can bring. So they do a great job, always have. It's always a big week as far as game plan wise of what we're going to do and having a plan going in.
And E.T., I thought you hit the nail on the head earlier in the show with the biggest key, third down.
Third down, man, super important, man. We need to convert on third down, and we need to get them off the field on third down.
And unfortunately, it's just been something, for all the things that have gone right for the Jaguars, third down has not been a particular strength so far in the 3-1 start. They're 26th in the league offensively. They're in the league defensively, and the Chiefs are much better in both categories. So third down tonight will be a ridiculously huge key in terms of the Jaguars being able to pull this, I'd say, mini upset. They're a 3.5-point underdog, but the third down percentages have to be a little bit more in line for the Jaguars. And we know about running the ball. We know what a key that is. Travis Etienne just having an unbelievable season, but he needs 87 yards tonight to lead the NFL in rushing coming out of Week 5. So he's obviously had a spectacular year. Liam Cohen talked about what made Etienne such a valuable part of this offense so early.
That he's come in with the right mindset from the beginning. He has spent a lot of time in this building, I think, especially on the off days. He's in there every single off day. All the backs have been, honestly. And trying to get better each and every day, and taking all the little coaching points to heart and wanting to go do it to the best of his ability. He's playing at a high level right now, and whether it's inside finding creases, outside, been really pleased with him, and it's exciting to have.
We know that containing Patrick Mahomes is going to be a big key as well. Boy, those are frustrating, those plays he can make. I mean, it's one of those things that just drives you nuts, and it can be a backbreaker, can take the crowd out of the game. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile talked about the importance of containing Mahomes if you're going to win this game.
I feel like he's always been, pretty active as a runner. I know he is running the ball a little bit more, but in past games, he's done a good job of that against us. When I was in Miami, we played him a bunch of times, and I thought he always did a good job keeping plays alive and, trying to get through the middle of the defense or getting an escape hatch in the, in the pass rush, finding a way out of there. So it really does add another difficult element to a defense, for sure.
One more key to this one, E.T., I think, is we've talked about the Chiefs' offensive stars, Mahomes and Kelsey and Worthy. We haven't talked about their defensive star, Chris Jones, the standout defensive lineman. They will line him up everywhere, and he has been a jag killer in the past.
Because he's a stud, man. Like you said, they'll line him up anywhere and everywhere, and he's going to make a play from anywhere and everywhere. We got to be able to do something with him. Can't stop him, just got to slow him down.
Got to slow him down, and you'd like to think that running at Chris Jones, wherever he is lined up, will be a big key to the game. But Liam Cohen talked earlier in the week about the challenge of blocking Chris Jones.
Yeah, game wrecker type player. The size, obviously, the length, the ability to quick swim you, to push the middle pocket. Then he lines up at end at times in some known passing situations. So it's going to take a village. That's kind of what we've been talking about as, really with these rushers is it's not just one guy, one matchup. It's all of us have a hand in it in terms of being able to do all the little things you have to take care of a guy like that can make a huge impact.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this Jaguars offensive line handles it. And those are just a few of the keys to the game. Obviously, special teams, we know how important that is. Kansas City very well coached in that regard as well. We know about the takeaways. The Jaguars lead the league with 13, 3 more than anybody else entering this week. And hopefully Trayvon Walker, if he is able to play, boy, what a lift that would be if he's able to do anything out there for the Jaguars. So lots of great stuff as we get closer to the Chiefs-Jags kickoff at 8:15 tonight. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to go inside the locker room. Want you to hear from DeJuan Smoot. Want you to hear from Brenton Strange. We will also do our brackish toast of the game. We'll always look forward to that, and we will give you our final thoughts and picks before we hand it up at the top of the hour to the Publix Tailgate Show with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Austin Lane. You are listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Some people call it X.
What?
Some still call it Twitter.
Okay, I got it.
Whatever you call it, it's the best place for up-to-the-minute Jags coverage from 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game? When Miles Jack wasn't down, you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, I've seen ads for diamonds where you see the words all diamonds certified by IGI, EGL, or GIA. Just what does all that mean?
Frank, it's confusing because those letters represent various diamond grading laboratories. However, it's important to point out that labs don't certify anything. They issue diamond grading reports. The only entity that can certify the diamond is the seller. There's one exception to that, and that's members of the American Gem Society have the ability to certify diamonds through their partnership with the American Gem Society Laboratory. That's because it's the only partnership in the world where an organization devoted to consumer protection through gemological education and ethics has a laboratory built on the exact same principles. We have these certificates at Underwoods, but more importantly, we have American Gem Society certified gemologists that look at all of these diamonds and put our grade and our certification of the diamond's quality on it. And believe me, that's important.
Balancing books and the grind of daily practice is what it takes to be a scholar athlete. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, kept healthy by
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists
and the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234
on 1010XL.
Yo, E.T. here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days than bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks. Scratch kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge. Come on, somebody.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Hey there, Frank Frangie here. The buzz about topdressing.com on our airwaves has me excited. Well, they're now in Jacksonville, turning St. Augustine grass into golf course lushness. Look, I'm a passionate golfer. I know better aeration, that envy-worthy green, white glove care, detailed, tailored for me at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Process is going to begin shortly, and they say they can do it in a day. Look, I can't wait. Go to topdressing.com now. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com today.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog, Junk Removal and Hauling.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Starting your game day.
The Terminix Kickoff Show.
Live from Tailgaters Parking. Presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Before we go into the locker room, ET, I'm going to need a Duval. Can you help us? Usually we've got you at 9:04 in the morning for the Kickoff Show. It's 9:04 somewhere. It's time. All right. Love it. Great
That's
job.
what I'm talking
Love
about.
it. We got a great crowd here. Everybody's having fun at Tailgaters, and hopefully it'll be a wonderful night for the Jaguars. Let's go inside the locker room. DeJuan Smoot's really been a vital piece to this thing as a rotational player coming back to the Jaguars, but might have to take on a bigger role tonight depending on Trayvon Walker's status. What's been your opinion of DeJuan Smoot so far?
Well, if I recall correctly, I called that Smoot would come in the game and get a sack, and that he did. The whole crowd said, Smoot! And he is. He may have to take on a bigger role, and I think he's definitely fit for it.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's sort of the leader in terms of guys that will have to step up. Liam Cohen talked about it earlier this week. If they don't have Trayvon Walker, how vital Smoot is.
Huge. Especially Smoot has been really getting better and better every week. Plays his tail off. Og obviously gives us some flex to be able to play outside and be able to reduce a little bit inside. BJ Green got some snaps, obviously, last week. And then, Dennis Gardeck's continuing to, I think, get more and more comfortable out there. So, feel confident, though, if that has to happen.
DeJuan Smoot, kind enough to give me a few minutes of his time earlier this week. Hope you enjoyed the interview.
All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguars defensive end DeJuan Smoot here on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. It's great to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you again. Of course, I'm doing good.
We talked before the opener. You were kind enough to give me a few minutes, and we certainly enjoyed that. What a fun start for you guys. What a great September and a great opportunity Monday night. How much fun are you having, DeJuan?
I'm having a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun with my guys, my brothers, and, hey, we're making plays. So I'm always happy when that happens, for sure.
Have you ever been a part of something like this where 9 takeaways through, 4 games and just, more takeaways than that, but plus 9, 13 takeaways? What has been the big key in generating all the takeaways, in your opinion?
I mean, I feel like this is obviously once in a career. I mean, I haven't been a part of anything like this, and it's not a lot of people that can say they've been a part of this as well, too. Being in, week 5, going into week 5, we already have 13 takeaways. That's impressive, so I definitely feel like we can be something special this year.
What really stands out about the teaching and the tenacity that you guys are showing on the field?
We're just taught to always be around the ball. I mean, we run to the ball as a D-line, and then, like, in coverage, like, if someone's, like, super tight and they're, like, just, like, three or four people around them, so if anybody bats the ball down, like, someone's always in that area. So that's something that we pride ourselves on.
You've been able to obviously contribute to that as well. How do you feel like you're playing?
I'm playing pretty good. Obviously, I'm hard on myself, so I'm like, I need to do better. But I mean, that's just my own way that I look at my game. But I feel like I'm playing pretty well, you know.
And could be a bigger role, obviously. Monday we'll see about Trayvon. Obviously, he's incredibly tough, but dealing with the wrist. What kind of an opportunity is this for you Monday night and for the defense as a whole?
I mean, in general, I just want to say, you know, I'm praying for playing for Trey, and I'm hoping that he gets back as soon as possible. That's first off. But the opportunity that I have, I feel like every single time I have an opportunity to just play a little bit more and play better. So, I mean, I'm ready to go. It's not going to be any drop off. I've just been waiting for this opportunity. So,
Mahomes isn't a big guy, but boy, he's hard to get down. He's so crafty and sort of plays with that kind of moxie. How difficult is he to actually get to the ground?
Just got to get around him. I mean, you just got to make sure you're hitting him early. And as a D-line, we just got to stay alive in our rushes. We can't, you know, get buried in with the man because he's looking for those seams to get up out of there. So we just have to stay alive and, you know, use our extension and just rush smart.
DeJuan, they've got, you know, a couple veteran backs in Pachenko and Hunt. They've got a rookie that it seems like they're excited about. What stands out when you watch Kansas City's ground game?
They're very scheme runners, so they scheme you up based off your rules of the defense and everything like that. They pull a lot of people. They kind of make you go against your rules and stuff like that. So I mean, as long as we lock in on our keys, make sure that we're seeing the blocks that are in front of us, I feel like we're fine.
You've been around this organization for many years. How excited are you to see the environment Monday night and the reaction you get from the fans?
I mean, coming off the weeks we've had, I'm expecting, you know, Everbank Stadium to be packed. I already know, and it's going to be the other way. You know, it's not going to be that much Chiefs fans. It's going to be a lot of Duval fans, so I'm excited to see it for sure.
How much growth do you think this team had going to San Francisco and getting that gutsy win?
I mean, it was huge. It was huge for our confidence, and it was huge just, you know, reaffirming how great of a defense we can actually be, how great of a team we can be together. You know, playing complementary football. It's a hard word to get out. You know, playing that style of play, you know, us turning the ball over, you know, the offense answering each and every time. So I feel like we haven't played a perfect game yet, so there's still a lot to look forward to.
What stands out about this coaching staff, Liam and Campanelli and the staff?
Just the energy and the way that they look at the process. Like, it's not any high, any down. Even with our loss with Cincinnati, like, it was like, we're just going to get back to work, you know, and it's all about the process. And, you know, how we end up, you know, going to November, December, it's more about the process more than just like the X's and O's and the wins and stuff like that. It's about the process of how we're growing as a team.
DeJuan Smoot, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck Monday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate DeJuan's time, and he's going to be a big piece to a Jaguars win tonight. And I'm with you, E.T. It'd be great if he gets a sack and you hear that Smoot come out from the crowd. Let's flip it to the offensive side. Brenton Strange has really done a great job of becoming the leader of that tight end room. You know, he was an understudy to Evan Ingram. They decided to move on in the offseason from Evan. But Brenton Strange leads the team in receptions with 19.
Other than Travis Etienne, he would probably get the most votes for the offensive player of the year or offensive MVP as far as for the Jaguars.
And he's been great. I agree in the blocking aspect as well.
The block that the whole world heard.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Brenton Strange, we caught up to in the locker room earlier this week. But before we get to that, Trevor Lawrence talked about the growth of the tight end room.
It's been huge. I mean, that position, you ask a lot of them, obviously, you know, blocking, catching, a lot of responsibility just in every single play, whether we're in two tight ends, one tight end, whoever it is out there. Brenton does a great job in the run game, and then you see him get his opportunities in the passing game. And then a guy like Hunter obviously has been just, you know, I don't know how many catches he's had this year, but most of them have been touchdowns, I feel like. Just whenever his number is called, makes the big play. He's always ready. I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do for Hunter, who's obviously, Britton is getting a lot of opportunities in the passing game as the tight end. And then when Hunter comes in, when he does have a shot, making all those plays, it's not always the easiest thing to do without getting in a rhythm. So a lot of credit to him just for being ready. He's really smart. I've been impressed by how much he knows just about the offense, and he always knows what to do, and you can kind of interchange him and move him around. And the same thing for Johnny. Johnny hasn't quite had the same opportunities in the passing game yet, but it's a long season, and he does a lot of things well also. So, that whole room has been awesome, and obviously Quentin stepping up too has been great. So that's like one of my favorite positions, tight end room, and they're awesome. All those guys are great.
All right, I feel better.
Yeah, Britton Strange has been outstanding so far this year. He was good enough to give me a few minutes of his time on Friday. So this is Inside the Locker Room, my interview with tight end Britton Strange.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars tight end Britton Strange here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. And it's great to see you. How you doing?
Great to see you as well. I'm doing great.
We talked before the season, but what a month for you. Congratulations, Britton. How do you feel like you're playing?
I feel good, but I don't really get too caught up in everything. I'm always looking towards the next thing, and that can be a blessing sometimes. Sometimes it can be a bad thing. But, I'm just looking for my next opportunity and going out there and just staying reliable, staying steady, and just trying to make it a great year.
You guys are doing a great job running the ball, fourth in the league. In your opinion, what's been the difference in having such an effective ground game so far?
I think the thing is we want that to be our identity. We want that to be part of who we are so every time we step on the field. So just harping on the details and continuing to come out here and put in the work, and that'll take care of itself.
Did it pop for you pretty early with what Liam does in the run game, that schematically, did you get a sense pretty early on that this is going to work?
Yeah, obviously he's had success. I believe Tampa was third or something last year. So, the proof is in what he's done in the past. So, I think that gave us all a good sense of confidence and buy-in for the team. So, I knew from the beginning, obviously.
And you guys have done an outstanding job protecting Trevor, leading the league in sacks allowed percentage-wise. What stood out about the pass protection?
I think from day one, those guys who came in and they, like I said, kind of the identity with the run game, they knew what they wanted to do, and they knew their goals and what they wanted to accomplish. And I think that was a big emphasis of them protecting Trevor. So it's a great thing when your quarterback doesn't get touched.
You're still a very young player. The Chiefs have been doing this for a long time at a high level. What's it like for you getting a chance to face them on Monday Night Football?
It's just the next opportunity, man. It's obviously a blessing. The Chiefs are a great team, and they've done it for a long time. But, it's the next opportunity, and I just want to go out there and do what I do and be myself.
When you watch Spagnuolo's defense, do things jump out about how different, unique maybe his scheme is compared to some others?
Yeah, I think that's the word for it right there. It's unique. He does a lot of different things, and it's very exotic, presents a lot of different things. He does a great job. Obviously, they've been top of the league for however long, so he does a great job, and I'm just excited for the opportunity.
Is Kelsey a player that growing up you sort of looked at and not modeled your game after necessarily, but just somebody that you've kind of admired from afar in terms of what he's been able to do in the league?
Yeah, he's a great player. I'll say he's had a lot of success in the league, and some of the stuff that he does, it's great. Myself, I tend to look at other tight ends, but I do watch his film. He's a great route runner, and he's great, obviously. He's had great years, first-team All-Pro, all of that. So, great player, yeah.
Which tight ends do you like to watch?
I'm more of a older school guy. I like Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, Greg Olsen growing up, Gronk obviously, and you had a guy, Kyle Brady, Mercedes Lewis, all those guys. Just all around tight ends that can be out there every down for their team and just put their best foot forward. Yeah.
You've been doing great things in the passing game. Are you pleased with how that element of your game is going so far?
Yeah, I would say I'm pleased for sure, but I know that I have so much more potential and I can get so much more better. So it's just about me coming in and putting in the work mentally and physically and just continuing to be a reliable playmaker for this team.
You've always been so supportive of Parker Washington, obviously being teammates with him at Penn State. What was it like seeing him break the 87-yard punt return?
See, I knew from the jump. I've seen that way too many times, and as soon as I saw a little crease, I knew he was out of there, man. But he's a great player, and, he comes in every single day and puts in the work. So I'm just so happy and so blessed to be a part of his journey and have him a part of mine as well, because he helps me out a lot, and I try to help him as well.
You excited to see what the environment will be like Monday night with the fans?
Oh, I'm excited. I know what it's going to be like. It's going to be jumping. Duval's going to be lit, and I'm excited.
Brenton Strange. Thank you so much for your time. Certainly best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate Brenton's time earlier this week. Now it's time to get to the real MVP of the kickoff show.
Here we going. Here we go.
The Brackish Vodka Toast of the Game. Brackish Vodka, spirit of the sportsman for whatever your sport is.
All right, Chad Mays here to join us from Tailgaters and tell us all about Brackish, and we'll have our cocktail. But, Chad, first off, how are we feeling? A lot of energy.
Electric down here right now. Woo. I'm telling you, I haven't seen anything like down here like this since the playoff games. It's unbelievable. All the people down here, everybody's having a good time. We got all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, people are coming down. This is going to be tough for the Kansas City Chiefs today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A lot of green.
When does the party stop here?
We stop at 2 in the morning.
Okay. All right. All right.
Because we're going to bring
I'll
back a
file
win.
my story, and I'll come right back
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Oh, bet. All right,
We're
cool.
going to bring back a win, and then as soon as everybody gets out of the stadium, we're going to come back here and celebrate, baby.
All right. Tell us about our favorite cocktail. Tell us about Brackish Vodka. Where can we get it, and what makes it so unique?
You know, you could get it just about anywhere, from ABC to Shores to Total Wine to, your mom and pop liquor store. Anywhere in Jacksonville, you could get this awesome vodka. And they got all kinds of different flavors. Today, we're going to be featuring the one that has brought us a couple wins here in the morning times, the Bridgie.
2-0.
2-0, baby. So we're going to do a little ounce and a half pour of the peach. We're a little heavy for my boy E.
Lord have mercy. You love me, don't you? Yeah.
We got a little bit of orange juice already in there, and then we're going to come back with a little bit of Sprite, and then we're going to finish it off with a little grenadine. But this is the Bridgie. We've been successful with this all the time.
Oh, yeah. This is
So
like
we're gonna
watching
come
Picasso paint.
There we go, baby.
Masterpiece right there.
Masterpiece right here. And then we're gonna shake it up a little bit. We're gonna just because we're gonna get a win tonight. I want to make it look good.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Looking
E,
good.
here's a little heavy for you. A little extra win for you today.
Yeah. I'm catching W's all over the place.
All right, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers to it.
To the Jags.
There we go. There we
Let's
go.
go.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're
Duval. There you go.
We are ready. Thank you so much.
Give me the haze. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are we ready to
We
go?
will see you next time when this drink is 3-0.
Oh, no. When it's 3-0, and we're going to carry this one all the way to the playoffs.
Give us a score prediction tonight.
Ooh. I think we're going to go, I'm going to say 28-12.
28-12.
There you go.
Love it. Love it. Chad, great
I don't
work.
even know if that's possible. 28-13.
Yeah. Hey, they could get 4 field goals, right? Yeah, that could happen.
They
Yeah.
get 2 touchdowns and 2 missed extra points.
Absolutely.
you go.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Chad, thank you so much. All right, E, final thoughts here as we get ready to hand it off to the Publix Tailgate Show with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Austin Lane. What do you think tonight? What kind of a game do you think we see? We've got a little bit of time. So how do you think this one plays out?
I think we're going to leave the stadium proud of our quarterback. Everybody knows, everybody's been saying our quarterback needs to play better. He definitely knows that, and there's no better time to display that than tonight. So I think Trevor's going to do his thing tonight. I think he's going to have a big night, and we're going to come out with that dub.
Would you be aggressive if you're Liam Cohen in the opening script? Maybe try and get Trevor going early?
Yes. Like in basketball, I'm shooting that 3. Shooting a 3 early, pressing, all of that. And then if you miss, then you start doing your layups, you work your way out. So I'm definitely being aggressive, throwing that deep ball.
Expectations tonight for this Jaguar defense going up against Patrick Mahomes?
I think we're getting at least 2 more turnovers.
Really?
I think we're getting 2 turnovers. Like, the boys are good at that. And Kansas City knows that we're going to be punching and gnawing at their ankles trying to get the ball. But I think we'll be successful. I think we'll get 2 more.
Travis Hunter, what kind of a game do we see tonight?
It's going to be a coming out party for Travis. Man, I just sound like I'm drinking that teal Kool-Aid. But that's just
I
how
can't wait to
feel.
hear your score prediction. But hang on.
That's just how I feel.
So you think Travis Hunter, huge night tonight on offense, defense, both? How do you see that going? Both.
Twix, baby. 2.
How about that?
Both, yeah.
How about that?
I think, he's good. Man, we got a baller, man.
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner. He has the ability. We just got to put him in that position to do what he do.
What does a night like this mean to you? You're such an energy guy. I mean, how much does this kind of warm your heart when you see people so excited for a football game in this city?
She said it. I'm an energy guy, and I truly believe that energy is contagious. And when the city is winning, when the football team is winning, the city is winning in general. I'm telling you, you slapping hands. hands, you hugging people, man. It's electric, and I love it.
John O'Leary has been engineering things here. He's done an incredible job as always. John, what kind of game do we see tonight, and who wins the game?
You know, Hank Williams said it best. All my rowdy friends are here for Monday night. It's about to be 60,000 screaming Duval fans. It's something we haven't seen in a couple of years. You know, it's going to be 2022 Titans, Chargers playoff game. It is going to be that level of atmosphere tonight. The team is going to feed off the energy within that stadium tonight. Whether Trayvon Walker plays or not, you guys said it, the place is going to go nuts if they announce that Trayvon's playing when he enters the field. So much is going to just be based around how engaged the fan base is, and they're going to be going nuts tonight. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. I don't want to give a score prediction yet. I got to bite the tongue on that.
Who do you think will be the offensive MVP for the Jaguars?
I really want to say it's going to be Travis Etienne. Liam Cohen says he wants to run the ball. Get Brian Thomas Jr. on a deep ball. Get Travis Hunter on a deep ball. Get some play action going and attack Spags' defense. And just see what you can make out of it. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Feed Travis Etienne tonight.
Dylan, what kind of game are we going to see tonight in your opinion?
I think it's a low-scoring game. I think the team that turns the ball over the most is probably going to lose. I know it's kind of cliche, but the Jags have created a lot of turnovers, and they've won the vast majority of their games. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But at the end, I think it's going to come down to whatever team makes a play late in the fourth quarter is going to win this game.
Dylan, what will this mean to the Jaguars if they get the win?
Man, I mean, I don't know how far you got to go back. Maybe after the Jags beat the Patriots in 2018, like had this kind of feeling where you feel like everyone's watching, and this is a statement game. The Niners, it was good, but there's a lot of excuse that goes with that Niners win because everybody thinks that they were banged up, which they were. No excuses for the game tonight. You beat the Chiefs, you beat them handily, and this game means a lot and puts the NFL on notice.
E.T., how electric do you think this building is going to be here in a couple hours?
Oh, we're going to do our thing. That's one thing that the city of Duval going to do is they're going to show up. They're going to do their part, and we're just hoping that the Jaguars do their part.
What's your score for the game?
Oh, that's easy, man. 24-17 Duval County.
24-17. Good, guys. I tell you what, I'm really excited to see how the Jaguars play tonight. I think Liam Cohen is a rising star in the industry. I think the Jaguars, I think Shad Khan deserves a ton of credit. I think Tony Baselli deserves a ton of credit. I think they have found the right head coach. This is obviously a monumental opportunity. One thing I'll say about the Chiefs that you have to commend them for, they're never complacent. For all the wins, they've won 3 Super Bowls. They've been to others. They never get complacent. They never seem to have really a down game. So I think the Chiefs are going to be ready. I think the Chiefs are going to play well. Mahomes is going to have his moments. But I think Liam Cohen, his offense, I think Trevor Lawrence does just enough. But I think that ground game is outstanding. I think Travis Etienne helps lead the Jaguars to a win over the Kansas City Chiefs. I've got the Jaguars 30, Chiefs 27. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. 4 lead changes in the second half.
Ooh,
4
I like
lead
that.
changes in the second half. But the Jaguars win the game. That's going to do it for us here. We appreciate Frank Frangie joining us. We appreciate Nate Taylor, ESPN Chiefs writer, joining us. Thank you to DeJuan Smoot and Brenton Strange. The Brackish friends. Thank you. Wonderful drink. For E.T., for John O'Leary, for Dylan Denmark, I am Hayes Carline. Have a wonderful night, Duval. Let's get it done. The Publix Tailgate Show is up next.
Carolina Jags in historic Riverside has been named Best Burger in Jacksonville for 5 years in a row. They serve fresh, certified Angus beef smash burgers on locally baked buns with Florida fresh produce. Try favorites like the Riverside